the Romans, when they went into Israel, they annihilated that place. All right, and there's a book called the works of Josephus. He goes in further depth about that destruction. All right, but even the book that we had from Babylon to Timbuktu, he gives his own historical information about what happened in that time. Around 70 AD, they went in there and annihilated the nation of Israel. And 1 million black Jews fled to the west borders of Africa. And from the west borders of Africa, they were sent onto slave ships during the transatlantic slave trade over here to the Americas, man. Because the heathen were pushing them out. The heathen were steadily pushing them out, trying to get them out the way. Get that one in Micah 2:1. So that's why we come out here. We're out here for truth's sake, and doing this thing to the best of our ability.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and what? Start again. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
Right, it's in the power of Esau to do these things, man. He can get away with it. It's just like this thing that happened recently in San Angelo. This man beat down some Edomite for being with his wife, and it did a lot of damage to his face. They gave him 30 years for that. They gave him 30 years. I mean, he had other things against him, but then recently there was a man that molested an infant, and he got 10 years probation.
Oh, man.
See what I'm saying? Because he's an Edomite, man. These Edomites, they get away with it. And then that was what Yahushua promised Cain. Hey, nobody's gonna mess with you 7 times, man. And if they do, that curse is gonna fall upon that man 7 times. And then later on in the chapters, it goes into another man named Lamech, I believe, and he says the same thing. That he can get away with it. They're gonna get away with murder. They're gonna get away with killing, stealing, and get the last judgment. But what they fail to realize is Yahushua ain't forgot. And Yahushua is going to give them the full extent of that judgment. Double. Go ahead and read that.
It says, we'll read it again. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields.
They covet fields, man. All this land over here in America, it was pastures, man. It was pastures of land, man. Beauty. The animals, the buffalo, they were all running in flocks. Over there in Israel, it was the same thing, man. It was the Fertile Crescent. All right? That was the Garden of Eden. The word Eden, Idan, is the paradise, man. Talking about this whole earth, but over there, I'm talking about mainly over there in Israel, man. That was the cradle of civilization. Go ahead.
It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence.
And they take them by violence, man. We were reading to you how they're coming here and push back the nation of Israel, and they possess the city by their own means, man. They possess Israel to this day. Those Babylonian Talmudists, man. Bunch of pedophiles. And the same thing goes to the Catholics too, man. There ain't nothing but pedophiles in that Catholic church. Homosexuality and stuff in there, man.
It says, and they cover fields and take them by violence, in houses and take them away.
In houses and take them away. Today, man, if you don't pay your rent in a timely manner, hey, they'll evict you. That quick, no mercy. Go ahead.
It says, and they take them away, so that they oppress a man in his house.
They oppress a man in his house, man. They oppress you Negro and Latinos and Native American Indians, man. You have every right to be angry. All right, be angry and sin not. The so-called white man, the heathen, they oppress you Negro and Latinos and Native American Indians, man. know? And that's oppression, knowing that, you know, a man gets beat down by an Israelite, but then Edomite will go and molest a 4-year-old child and get a harsher punishment. That's oppression. Knowing that when you're driving, you have to be aware with these cops because they can kill you, man, on the spot, at their own discretion, man. And they will be held in safety of that. No harm will come to them. They'll clean up all the dirty work for them, man. That's why a lot of Negro and Latinos are dying on the streets every day by cops, man. Because they can get away with it. And they have a quota on how many people need to be killed in every city, man. Go ahead.
It says, and they cover fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
Even a man in his heritage, man. Now you got these people in Israel calling themselves Israelis. That word is not in the scripture. Or the word Jewish. That should give you a red flag right there. That word Jew comes from the word Judah. And the word ish, it means sort of, man. That word ish means sort of. Alright? So read that scripture again.
It said, but they say even a man, it says, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
Even a man in his heritage. So these so-called Israelis, these Jews in Israel, they took our heritage, man. See what I'm saying?
They've stolen it, man. They've done everything they could possibly do. It's like like what's coming to my mind was Xerxes in that movie 300. You know, he got to the point, and we already know the 300 Spartans was Israelites. You know, because you can tell by the way that there was certain lines said that the city of freedom or something like that, or the free city, the pure city. You know, well the point is, he said, I will erase Spartan history from the books of its existence. He'll make sure about it, and that's what Esau has done here. Y'all people don't even know who you are. Like I was watching Snowpiercer. I don't know if you watched it yet. With I can't remember the guy who plays as the Human Torch in Fantastic Four. It shows you the way that Esau acts. It shows you his nature, his real nature, and what he'll do and what he will do in the end. But he's got people. He's constantly oppressing them, beating them, so they can't come back to realization of what they are. They eventually get so. That's how you like brainwash someone too, through torture. You can actually get them to believe something that's totally non-believable as long as you like hurt them so much. And that's what Esau's done with y'all spirits. He's hit y'all so much. Y'all been stricken so much. You don't even know who you are. But he's done everything to a T, man, to make sure to erase your remembrance of who you are. Not even preaching anymore the way that it used to be done in the old times. Even now, can you be saved? It's literally made it impossible for you people to acknowledge the truth.
Yep. And going back into the time of the Assyrian captivity, whenever Israel were going at war with the Assyrians, right before the Babylonian captivity occurred under Nebuchadnezzar, they had certain heathens planted into the land of Samaria, over there in the land of Israel, right? And I want to bring it out real quick, I'm going to just get straight to the point. This is 2 Kings 17 to 24. And the king of Israel brought men from Babylon. The king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Katha and from Ava and from Hamath and Sepharvaim and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And that's where the heathen basically, they started living in certain gathering of their vessels, just like in the time of the Babylonian captivity. What did they do? They took all the golden vessels, you know, all the treasure, and claimed it their own. It was theirs. I'm gonna jump down to.
You had the I don't know if it's the same thing, but the Balfour Declaration, right? The
Balfour Declaration.
Yeah.
It happened like in 1940, 42, 43, something like that, 45.
It was the same thing, basically.
Yeah, they got all these so-called these Jews that were being martyred, or not martyred, but slaughtered by Adolf Hitler. and deported back into their homeland, which was, that's where it all really began with the heathen. But the heathen were already in there. See what I'm saying? But now it was just like a mass global shipment, which they were trying to use scripture to prophecy being fulfilled at that time, which is not, man. Let me get this one. I forgot right here. This is 2 Kings 17 and verse 29. It says, "Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the houses of high places which the Samaritans hath made. Every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Succoth Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima, and the Hivites made Nibhaz and Tartak, and the Sepharvites burnt their children in fire to Adramelech, and Amalek, the gods of the Sepharvim." And these are all their gods. The nations are naming the nations with their gods that they created. So they feared the Lord and made unto themselves of the lowest of the priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord and served their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away thence. They didn't really fear the Lord though, but they admired the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because they got that other incident with the Philistines, where the Philistines took the Ark of the Covenant, and whenever where the Israelites had the Ark of the Covenant, they were celebrating, rejoicing. The heathen were afraid of that, man, because they were rounding back up the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
You're reading it.
Go ahead and read it. 2 Kings 17 and 32.
17. It says, "So they feared the Lord and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord and served their own gods, after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence. Unto this day they do after the former manners."
And unto this day they do after the former manners, man. Y'all all this stuff y'all are doing today here in America is what was done back in the old days, man. It's all through the reincarnation, man. Right? Through the spirit, y'all all doing the same thing that the Romans did, the Greeks, the Sodomites. Now here in America, you can be married, man. Homosexuality is condoned here and widely accepted.
It says, "Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not the Lord."
They fear not the Lord, man. Y'all are a bunch of hypocrites, man. A bunch of wishy-washies, man. You ain't the real deal. A bunch of counterfeits. That's why the Most High set up men that were elected to come out here and speak this word in boldness, in great boldness, before the heathen, man. Go ahead.
It says, "They feared not the Lord, neither do they after their statutes."
Neither do they after their statutes. After who? After the Israelites, man. Go ahead.
It says, "Or after the ordinances, or after the law and commandment which the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, who he named Israel, with whom the Lord had made a covenant."
With whom the Lord made a covenant with. The Most High is only dealing with the nation of Israel, man. Go ahead.
"And charged them, saying, You shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them."
And that's exactly what y'all are doing. Y'all are binding y'all souls to these demons, man. Y'all are binding to y'all soul to the Trinity, man. Go ahead.
Said, "You shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them. But the Lord, who brought you out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, him shall you fear, and him shall you worship, and to him shall you do sacrifice."
Yeah. He didn't say to do a sacrifice to an idol, man. He didn't say do sacrifice to the Virgin Mary. or to a baby Jesus, man. The scriptures say that the hour coming where the true worshipers of the Most High shall worship in truth and in spirit. All right. Now I know a little artifact, man. All these things right here, these signs are just illustrations to get you people seeing what we're talking about. All right. It's what the Bible depicts, and the men, the Most High has blessed certain men, with the elders, to come up with these designs, man.
It says, but him ye shall fear, and him shall you worship, and to him shall you do sacrifice, and the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you. There's another written sign that he's the one who wrote it. He just had men do it. You know?
Yep. Read that part again. Read it again.
Which it says, and the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you.
Which he wrote for you, man. And where? In the time of Mount Sinai with Moses. No? But this man was last weekend trying to say that the Bible was written by the Catholics. You know? There were a bunch of demons that were just in that gathering, man. The Council of Nicaea, man. They didn't know the scriptures. The scriptures bear witness to that. There's only the Father and the Son, and they're separate beings but have the same spirit. And now people don't understand what the spirit is, man. They have the same understanding, the same appetite, the same likings. They have the same. They're like the spitting image. That's what they are. It's like we always use that example of a father has a son, and people are like, man, he's a spitting image. He does exactly the same thing. The mannerisms, everything as his father. Y'all people can't grasp that. Y'all think that he's just the Father and the Son within one being. Or now y'all believe in the Trinity, that there's three beings, man. This ain't no Greek or Roman mythology. This is the Bible of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
It said, and the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, you shall observe to do forevermore. And you shall not fear other gods. And the covenant that I have made with you, you shall not forget. Neither shall you fear other gods. For the Lord your God you shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. Howbeit,
he shall deliver you out of the hand of your enemies. But we're not in that situation. Why? Because Yashala continued to go off. So they continue to provoke Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hold that and get Deuteronomy 32 and 15. Deuteronomy 32 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked.
Yeah, Jeshurun is another way of talking about Israel, man. All right.
It says, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook then he forsook the Most High which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
Lightly esteemed his word, man, his laws, the statutes and commandments that he made for him. Go ahead.
They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods.
With strange gods. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. All right? Worshipping, now we got you people worshiping the Cesar Borgia image, man. Bowing down to that. You know? Now you got all different types of spirits out here. Yeah, one of the Aleister Crowley spirits out here, man. Do what thou willest. You know, if it feels good, do it. If it feels right in your heart, do it. If that's what your heart's telling you, do it. That's how it is here in America, man. They don't like people. They don't like men that are coming out and speaking rough and speaking the truth to them about their actions. You know, because they hate truth. That's why Israel is in the condition that that's why we're in the condition that we're in today, man. We have to bear the indignation of the Lord.
He says they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked him to anger.
With abominations, man. Like eating unclean food, crawfish. Come on, that's just nasty, man. Shrimp, that's nasty, man. seeing a bunch of shrimp in a pan being sauteed, all I would see is cockroaches, man. That's how my mind was shown. A bunch of cockroaches. It's nasty, man. The crabs, the lobster, all them things are a bunch of the cats and dogs, like the earth, man. The roaches. You know?
If you want to know really what you're eating, there's a movie that can depict. It's called I Spit on Your Grave Too. It has nothing to do with eating food, but the woman basically goes through these things with these men. You know, they rape her and everything. She wants to get exact vengeance for what happened to her. Because they did a lot to her in this movie. Well, she goes back and she's gonna go home. But she realizes that she's been done wrong and she wants to get them back. So she takes vengeance into her own hands, but she gets the one who's doing the most filth to her. You know, she gets him in a stall filled with, shit. But she drowns him in it. You know, it made me gag to the point I couldn't look at it. You know, but you wanna know, man, you want an accurate depiction of what you're eating, man, you're literally eating that stuff. Like with shrimp, I know in particular, they got you can even see the shrimp, they have aluminum still when you eat them. You know? But you have no idea, man, what you're really putting. I mean, people died. Thousands of people die all the time, man, from eating raw fish, raw foods, shellfish, raw meat. It is not meant to be eaten like that. There's bacteria still in there. It's raw meat, you know? So when you got this going on right now, or whatever festivals y'all indulge yourselves, or whatever food y'all indulge yourself in, you're killing yourself, man. It's not, and we always told you in the past, in the Bible, man, the scriptures, and we even take it like that to this very day. It was very serious problems when men would die. Or it was a very serious thing when men would die overnight eating pork, shellfish. The Lord commanded us not to do it, so we shouldn't be doing it.
That only pertains to Israel, though. You know, the elect Israelites are the ones gonna follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. I got a scripture real quick. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse. Man, I got the wrong one. Shall I go ahead and speak a little bit?
I mean, but I was just gonna say that kings would actually kill our men and women for not eating a piece of shrimp, one piece of shrimp. And I'm pretty sure because I know for a fact a lot of those men that went through those trials, they would have already been starved. You know, so they didn't have to give them much. They could have just given them a little tail part of the shrimp and be like, eat it, and they wouldn't. Why would you kill someone over that if it wasn't a serious matter? Because the Lord commanded them not to do that. The Lord commanded them not to eat unclean foods. Sacrifice, because I was just reading in Deuteronomy real quick, and it said, and they lightly esteem the rock of their salvation. A lot of y'all people will trip up and be like, okay, my God, I can't make a rock image to him. You know, or I can worship a rock. That's just representing the power behind that rock. Now he's strong and firm. And he can beat things to powder with it. Because you got certain rocks you can actually use to grind up meal. You can use it for avocados, man. But I don't know. I'm not really an expert on it, but I know there's certain types of rocks you can use for that certain purpose, to grind things up and beat them down. Same way with our power. That's what we're doing right now. We're beating down all these strongholds that are uplifted here in America. We're beating down y'all's minds to ultimately put y'all in subjection to Yahweh Shem Shai, which we know it's not going to work, but to the elect it will work. I'll go ahead and continue to read on Deuteronomy. On Deuteronomy 32 and 16, they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked they to him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh. And that's what y'all are doing, man. You're sacrificing unto a demon, right? That demon's laughing, smiling at you with a crooked smile because he knows he's got you. And these Edomites, man, they indulge themselves on getting off on the Israelite, bowing down to their ways, to their customs, to their foods. They love it, man. Demons love hopping on the Israelite who doesn't go according to what the world does, who doesn't indulge himself in abominable acts. So, just to show you that it's a very serious thing. When you're going to these festivals today to eat crawfish, you go into pork and pig, smelling that Nazi barbecue, it's a serious thing.
I got Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 8. And the swine, Deuteronomy 14 and 1. You are the children of the Lord, your power. You shall not cut yourselves nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the earth.
And the word peculiar too, man, is synonymous to the word different. We're not like the other nations. Our ways, our fashions and our ways are different. And that's exactly how it's described in the Bible. We have something different that we're really supposed to distribute to people who don't know how to live right. We guide them the right way. We also lay down the judgment. And when it said that we're a holy people, we keep things in order. That's what our people are supposed to be doing, keeping things in order, not allowing this to happen today.
Nursing the righteous acts of the Most High, man, because the heathen ain't doing it, man. This world ain't doing it, man. This is Deuteronomy 14, verse 3. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. I'm going to jump down to the point, verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
It even says you should not even touch their carcasses, man. So you ain't even supposed to be going near it. And what's funny, man, is usually when someone tells you you can't eat it, okay, yeah, I might understand